Благодаря ви, госпожо Бълнева. Сега в края на тази част от конференцията ни ми е особено приятно да ви представя Виктор Гузун, за да разкаже за международния опит. Виктор чакал доста време от другата страна в Zoom. Виктор, здравей! Виктор е голям приятел на фондация Науман и затова беше лесно да го привлечем. Той е от Молдова, живее в Естония и неговата мисия, посвещение да разпространява дигитални добри практики, успешен опит от Естония в електронно правителство, в медийна грамотност, в дигитализация. И много се радвам, че Виктор е тук с нас. Hi, Victor.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this conference. I think it's very important to discuss this particular topic. Just before starting my presentation, because I have some slides, some speakers said that it's new technologies, including Ambassador. I could tell you that actually the Zoom, which we're discussing right now, has already 9 years. And Skype, it's an Estonian invention, has already 17, but the Estonian kids use e-school already for 18 years. So this is not new. The idea is that the pandemics boosted the use of everything what's mean e-governance, and the topic which we're discussing right now, it's exactly, it fits to this topic. First of all, I would like to thank you for organizing this and for inviting me, and to also thank Open Society Institute for making early this media literacy index. When Petja and Iglika invited me to speak in this panel, I was thinking what I could add to this, to such a professional panel of specialists in media literacy. So we agreed together that I will speak a little bit about media literacy from an e-governance perspective. And if you allow me, Petja, I will just show my slides here. Could you confirm that actually you see my presentation? Petja or someone, could you please confirm that you see my slides? Yeah, I see it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I put intentionally this slide, enter E-Estonia, the truly digital nation somewhere in Northern Europe. And when I was preparing for this presentation, I was asking my friends here in Estonia, but also in different countries, in Moldova, in my native countries as well, what is your top ideas about media education? What is this? And actually, I collected a number of them. It's right here. Different specialists, the leading specialists from some countries told me that media education tools, to develop critical thinking. Open Society Institute Media Index for 2019. And it's a nice maps there in different clusters, like 5 different types of countries. And Estonia there, it's in the cluster number 1, together with Denmark, Finland, and other countries in Northern Europe. And actually, this is what you see here on the right. This is the findings of Open Society Institute MLI Index. And actually, the specialists in the Open Society Institute findings, some of them, it's that the higher the corruption perception in the country, the lower is the result in the media literacy index, and that's absolutely correct. The next one is the higher the distrust in scientists in a country, the lower the result in media literacy index, and this is absolutely correct. And the third is also absolutely correct. The higher the distrust in journalists in a country, the lower the result in media. But actually, from my perspective, I would like to add a little bit different perspective, if I may. So here on the left, it's the Media Literacy Index 2019, the last one, which I found on the website, on Open Society Institute. Here on the right is the last DESI, maybe you know about this, is Digital Economy and Society Index 2019. And what's interesting also, and this could be actually the 4th finding in Open Society Institute index, that the higher in DESI 2019, so if the countries are digital, if the people live in a digital society, if they have the phone or the watch or the computer where they check everything and do everything online, so their position in MLI 2019 is higher. And you will be just amazed, but if you see the top countries in MLI 2019 and top countries in DESI 2019 actually are more or less or absolutely the same. And actually, you know, this is a European DESI, it's a analyzing European Union countries. But if you see the last countries here, and if you compare with the last countries here in media literacy, because these countries are outside the European Union, you will see actually they are absolutely the same. So one of the first conclusions which came to my mind yesterday, it was that the higher in DESI, the higher in MLI. So a digital country, a country which has all digital perspectives and all digital solution, and people, citizens are using it widely, the MLI index is higher. So that's absolutely clear. And I hope the Open Society Institute in the 2020 will analyze this from this perspective as well. So I built my presentation, my slides on two important issues. How we did it here in Estonia. Number one, it's trust. And it is just an extract from the dictionary. What is this trust? It's a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, strength of someone or something. And number two, it's education. This is two elements which help Estonia, and not only Estonia, but actually all these countries which implemented the digital solutions widely in Northern Europe, especially. And these two elements is helping a lot to increase the media literacy in these particular countries. So number one is the trust. And I always say that the cornerstone of the e-governance is trust. What you see here, actually, this is one of my last trips. I've been last year in the end of the year in Jordan. This is a red dunes in Wadi Rum. Because I always say that trust is something like a dune. It consists of many, many billions, maybe of the sands particles, but actually it has a form. And doesn't matter if the wind is going or a little bit of wind or something happens. Yes, it could change a little bit the structure of this dune in Wadi Rum desert in Jordan, but actually the idea will remain the same. So we have to agree that trust is an everyday business. It's an everyday occupation, is developing gradual. And it could be in a way damaged, but actually if a critical mass of the sands particles are going together, then the trust is helping quite a lot. And the next one, it's education. And just some of the extracts from our Estonian formal education top priorities. So in Estonia, the national curriculum defines digital competence as a general competence. I think someone said before me that this should be an essential skill. So actually in Estonia, this is an essential skill already for more than a decade. So this essential skill of digital competence should be shaped through the learning outcomes expected in all subjects, but also through discussion cross-curricular subjects at lesson, extracurricular, and out of the school. And also, what is digital competence? Actually, this is abstract from our documents, is that digital competence is defined as the ability to use developing digital technology for coping with a quickly changing society. And actually, this pandemic proved quite quickly that actually the only thing actually which is really working now is internet. You see, I'm in Tallinn now. Different people are in different countries. I missed the early Sofia. I was checking the weather. I was planning to run today in one of your forest or park, but actually I'm here. We connected quite easily to that. So how we did it here in Estonia? Two elements which are really, really important. I really hope that Bulgaria is on this particular way as well. So in Estonia, everyone, but absolutely everyone, this is a compulsory document here, have an ID with the possibility to authenticate digitally, to check absolutely everything digitally, to enter all more than 600 registries, and actually to ask documents and proofs of anything. So this is a compulsory document, everyone has this, but the good news is that I'm not using this already for some 4 years, because this is an obsolete technology, and this actually is not obsolete. But actually, there are new, even more developed, because next one, mobile ID, which I had already for some 5 years, but actually I'm using this randomly because it's connected with my ID here. Here, actually, this is actually a proof, it's smart ID, and this becomes, it's a new, it has some 2.5 years from the development, but actually now is the most used technology to authenticate here because it's free, it's quick. So this is a perfect example that technologies are developing, and we should, learn how to always be in line with all this quickly changing environment. The next one, the next principle, I'm calling it KISS, or keep it simple and short, is that if you'll develop very complicated systems, very unclear, they are not bold or with a very, difficult language to understand, most probably they will not be used. Because no one in this world could check 2,600 or 3,000 services in different websites, because this is the number of the services we have here. But actually, everything in Estonia, it's in one platform. You are entering once with the login, with these particular tools, and you have access to absolutely everything. The next element is here, and I think Bulgaria could introduce it. It's a compulsory mail address. We are calling it governmental ones. It doesn't matter who is residing in Estonia. They have by default 2 email addresses. Why this is important? Because every state institution, every private institution, they could communicate with me with this email, and I could communicate with them. The second one actually is the number of my ID and est.e. So it's very simple, very intuitive, very bold. And I think this is one of the solutions, because we cannot expect that all the people in our countries will be professors of cybernetics. Yes, that's why we should make them very intuitive. Look at this is the platform. It's called est.e. You enter just one. In the matter of 1 second, all registers are connected, and I have access to absolutely all the information. Next important issue is that we are using this once only principle. This is so important because according with the law in Estonia, no state institution is allowed to ask you for the second piece of information once this piece of information is already there. Because we know if 2 pieces of information are gathered, the chances that this be mistaken is quite high. So just once, and no one is allowed to, and this is a law in Estonia, to ask you for the second piece, because everything is already in this register. What you see here, this is also important. They're communicating with the citizens, with the state institutions. We are clear, we are calling it X-Road. It's an interface, and it's allowing us to have, in a matter of milliseconds, the access to absolutely all the information. And this is, from our perspective, this is so important what you see here. So in the left, so with my phone right now, actually what you see right here is the print screen from my computer from yesterday in the evening. I am the owner of the information. I know who accessed my data. And actually what's important, no one could delete this data. If the president of Estonia will check my data right now, in the matter of seconds, I will see that the president of Estonia checked my data. And this log will never be deleted. And also one more example you see right here, just a second. So actually this is the extracts from my medical, it's called DigiLugu. It's a medical online interface. And this is my COVID test, because we discussed about this COVID. But actually what you could see right here is that I could actually close the access to doctors and even to my doctor. But this is the matter of responsibility. I don't want to close the access to my medical data, because this is also, the proof that actually I'm the responsible citizen or the resident of Estonia. I will move forward. What's important from our perspective of media literacy? Actually, for the journalist in Estonia, the business registry, this is a, this is a very sacred element, because it's important. All legal entities, doesn't matter who are there. It's a company, it's a party, it's an NGO, it's a think tank. I don't know, it's everyone are in the same registry. That means that if, and this is allowed for anyone. So what you see here, this actually the tree which is produced by this registry, if it's my name. You see, I'm Viktor Guzun, and I'm connected with two companies, one consulting, I'm selling. So it is just my connections. But what actually you could see there, here, and actually we are checking it. If I would like to enter into a discussion with someone from the business perspective, in Estonia, we're checking it. Who is this particular company or gentleman or public official, which kind of connections he has. And actually, I know that he has no debts, no execution, no precepts, no contracts with public procurements. But actually what you see in the right here, and I checked yesterday, is actually the data which the system provided me yesterday of Prime Minister of Estonia, Mr. Jüri Ratas, you see here. And actually you could see all the connections which Mr. Ratas, the Prime Minister, has with his party, who are the members of the council of the party, with which companies they are connected, with which NGOs, think tanks they are connected. So journalists could check all this information and all the public procurements in the matter of 1 second, without exaggeration. And the question is, do I trust media in Estonia? Of course, by default, I cannot trust absolutely everyone. But the issue in my brain is always that if something appears in the media, this is seriously checked. And why? Because everyone, including myself, could check a lot or even majority of details in the few clicks. So in a matter of 1 second, I could check all the information which I could see. And actually, I have this digital literacy, and not only myself skills, but actually majority of the population of Estonia to check if that's true or not. And if one journalist will put in the media a non-checked information, then probably next time nobody will see it. For example, here it's the procurement register. Absolutely all procurements in Estonia are here without any exception. And here it's all the documentation and live broadcast from the Parliament of Estonia. Here on the right is absolutely everything what's mean e-court and the punishment register and everyone who was punished more than 200 or 300 euros here in this particular registry. Or here, for example, on the right in this particular place, here it's actually all online sessions of local governments. And this is not only online, this is not just video streaming. If I'm the resident of this particular municipality, I could enter via my credentials, authentication credentials, to the session of the council. I could discuss, I could put a topic of discussion, and I will sign digital, and they will see it in the real time. And they will vote via. So I will see absolutely everything. So once again, digital is helping us. This is an interesting topic, which probably you don't have developed in Bulgaria, but actually we know it. We cannot prove it, but we know that between some state institutions like police and prosecutor office and stuff like that, and media, there is a clear understanding that we should together promote some of the elements. And these elements, to my understanding, just very quickly, is that everything was mean corruption. So if it's a corruption case in Estonia, then somehow all media are fighting with this. And if it's a security, because now, it's autumn, it's winter soon, and we are carrying this kind of reflectors to provide more security and safety for the kids in the nighttime and for mature. So this is also a topic. If someone, doesn't matter who, will consume alcohol, and this will be always public. And if someone will use our personal data, this will be public all the time. I'm finishing now by saying that, probably that according to the PISA, Estonian education is already #1 in Europe, already for the 3rd or 4th year. So Estonian kids are the first in reading, math, science, but this is also not a question of pandemics. This is the question of this Tiger Lips program, which started 20 years ago. This is the question of e-school and actually e-kindergarten. My kid is 5 years old, but actually I know everything what he's doing in kindergarten via eGov. And this is the result of this. We're calling it education nation. And probably the last slide, I will leave you with that. What you see here, actually it's 47.2% of the people in Estonia voted at the last European elections online. So the people are voting gradually. We started 15 years ago with 1.9% at the local level. We finished it with EP, European Parliament 2019. I'm not quite sure if the elections will be tomorrow, then the number of the people who voted online actually will be more than 50%. What you see here, it's easy. And what I would like to finish, you know, what these people are doing here, actually they're voting for the last election from a sauna. And, you know, it's always this idea and question to me, you know, but the old people don't know what to do and stuff like that. No, that's not true. Once it started, you cannot stop it. And from this perspective, you will be probably amazed. But the quickest voters or the online voting in Estonia, there are not these guys, because they have fun here, but actually it's old people. Because old people don't want you to go to the polling station. They would like to relax, and they would like just to take their time. So I will leave you with this nice, beautiful picture, which I made yesterday in the morning, 200 meters from my house here. This is Talin. But just a message, please be digital, because you have no choice. This is the future, that's absolutely clear. Build a digital Bulgaria, and welcome to E-Estonia. And once again, I dearly miss your beautiful city and the beautiful country. Thank you very much. And of course, I will be just super happy to answer to your questions.
Victor, thank you very much.